Hello everyone in YouTube land, welcome back. In today's video I'm going to change the fuel filters and clean the sediment bowl on the Massey Ferguson 35. I just remind you it's a 3-cylinder Perkins Diesel engine. I want to show you how I do it because I've never done this before. I've seen my friend do it on my tractor many years ago. I was watching, but I personally haven't done this procedure on this tractor. Of course I've changed fuel filters before, like on these vehicles. Have a look. So now that you've seen them, that was a relatively simple affair, just a spin-on filter and a bleed screw. Things are rather more complex when it comes to this tractor. You can see the whiteboard behind me and I'll attempt to explain it simply to you before we start in layman's terms. But before we start, a big shout out to a young fella who's the son of a mate of mine, an old mate of mine that watches the videos with his dad, and he tells his father that he likes the use of the whiteboard. So young fella, Kingston, well done mate, I'm glad you enjoy it and good to see you're embracing old school technology. I know there's a lot of stuff out there these days, tablets, PowerPoint, computers, it's all good, it's for a purpose, but don't forget you can't beat a whiteboard. And me and your dad used to go to school and have to look at chalkboards. Okay, here we go. So it works something like this, and I've tried to, it's not to scale, it's impossible this on here to draw that, but to help you out, the front of the tractor's that way. Look, there's a little wheel there and the big back wheel there. I hope you can follow what I'm doing. It's the left hand side of the tractor with this particular machine. Our fuel tank sits at the top. We've got the red is the fuel going through the fuel lines. So our most important bit to start with is the fuel tap, as you'll see. Then we go into the lift pump and the sediment bowl. That's got dots around it because that's on the other side of the tractor, as you'll see as we get rolling. Then the fuel goes into the primary fuel filter. We've got two to contend with, where a lot of the crap is taken out of the fuel, particularly air. Then we move on to the secondary fuel filter. So there's two attempts at cleaning the fuel. At this stage, if there's any air that hasn't been gotten rid of, it goes back up into, it's hard to draw, back into the system for another go. From there on, the cleanest possible fuel heads to the fuel injection pump, and from there off we go into the engine so we can fire the engine. I've got 3 lines because there's 3 cylinders. Again, hard to draw, but you'll see it on the tractor if you have one, and have a look yourselves. Whatever hasn't been used up gets sent down a fuel line back in for another go. So it's pretty impressive for something built in 1960, and it's not high tech. There's no electronic gadgets like there is these days. It's quite in-depth and focused on using up everything. I hope that makes sense. Alright, and just before we start, what have I referenced all this to? Well, I've shown you books before. The workshop manual, the IT workshop manual for this particular model of tractor provides me with great detail. And my favourite recent purchase, Massey Ferguson 35 tractor manual. It also covers the 4-cylinder models, being petrol and diesel. So if you're out to get this book, it just doesn't cover my model tractor. Let's go. After a cup of tea. So here's our primary and our secondary fuel filters, and then there's lines that head off towards a injector pump out at the front there. But before we start opening all this up, the fuel lift pump and the sediment bowl are on the other side of the tractor. So it's easy to be nice to have long arms. Sometimes you think it might be a 2-people operation, but it can be done with one. So for my mind, I don't want to be opening all this up. I want to clean the sediment bowl on the other side first, because that makes sense. You want to go in a sequential line. So let's move to the other side. After we turn off the fuel tap, I nearly forgot. Let's have a look at that. So here it is here. We just turn it inwards. Right, that way we don't have fuel going out all over the place. So that got changed some years back. You can see it's pretty new. Just a simple affair. Alright, not too tight. That'll do. Now we've stopped the flow of fuel for now. So there's the bowl. It's a bit dirty on the outside. Doesn't look too bad on the inside. We'll see if there's anything at the bottom. We're going to be careful with this. It's glass. When we put it back together, we don't do it too tight, or we'll break the bloody thing. And they're not exactly available on the shop shelves up here. You got to order them. And there's the lift pump, which can be done like that manually. Alright, I've got a tub under the tractor to catch some diesel. It's going to get messy, but hey, these things weren't made for us to be ultra clean. They're made to be serviced and simple by working folk all around the globe. Alright, there's a bit of fuel leaking out there, and drum. Take him out, be very careful. It's like there comes a little filter. Oh good, yep, I remember all that. So I'm just going to tip that into the... See the importance of closing the fuel tap. If we hadn't closed it, we would have had shit pouring out. I eat to breakfast here. Let's take this to the bench for a better look. So here we go, there's the glass bowl, and we had a seal and this little well, looks like some sort of filter element. You can see there's a seal through there, and words fail me at the moment. What am I looking for there? Not netting, some sort of filtration material. Sorry, I couldn't give you the exact word. I don't rehearse that much, so we'll be gentle with that. Give that a clean, and you just get a rag in here and get it all nice and clean. There's crap in there, but it's not too bad. A lot of it's on the outside. That's just stuff spraying up when we've been working. We'll come back when it's clean. Now, as you might remember from my last video, I was referring to some mystery man, and I've been looking at his video channel. That's Mr. Buckaroony. There was an episode about a snake. Well, I'm sitting here just cleaning the element, and I can hear some knocking noise behind the shadow board, and it's not the shed creaking from the sun. I know what that sounds like. So, not meaning to copy my good friend's content, but have a look. So see this shadow board here, you can see at the very top there's a gap. I reckon there's some sly slitherer living in there or doing something, but he knows to stay out of my way. I did see a python in here years ago, and as long as we don't annoy each other we can happily coexist. What am I trying to show you? This is ancient, but I just threw it down there. There you go, there's a bit of snake skin, but that's been here over a year or so. And on the subject of critters I coexist with, let's see if you can see. Yeah, this fella has been living in here for a few years now. I reckon you can see a possum there if I hold the tripod up. And up there you can see his pink ears, so he doesn't cause me any concern. When he's being a klutz, I know it, because I come here in the morning and tools have been knocked off the workbench. But anyway, nature's a good thing. Okay, can you see what's happening here, folks? I want to give you a view of the lift pump. I'll just put my torch here, particularly where the fuel bowl goes, and underneath, so you can see how it's made. And if you can follow the pattern in there, here, you'll be able to understand how that filtration piece at the very top fits in. Because you saw there was a hole in it, and it's probably where this downward protrusion goes. So I just want to be delicate here. I don't want to introduce any crap into there. I think I just did then. I'll get rid of that rubbish from the outside, because there shouldn't be anything, there shouldn't be any muck up there. Surely it all falls down. What I will do when I reassemble this and it's all finished, I'll get a gurney or something like that, or a karcher, and give it all a good clean. Yep, I'm happy with that, except for that bit there. Off you come. Here, well, that's on the outside of the bowl anyway. No big drama. Right, I hope that shows you all and you can make a bit more sense out of it. Very good. Torch off. Camera off. Take two. Well, I went and had a look at the book. Guess what that's called? The gauze filter. So there you go. I've given you the right word for it, but it's all going to go in as one. That's a mistake I was trying to make. That's the correction. That's the mistake I made in the last take. So as we said, it goes gauze filter first, followed by, so it's gauze filter, seal and bowl. So let's see if I can manage it all in one. I don't think so. No. Well, this is what novices do. Let's go like I said. Gauze seal. Where's that bloody torch? Fat fingers aren't the go with this. Alright, that's in the right spot, and if the gods are with me it'll stay there. Beautiful. There goes the seal.
And is the glass bowl close enough to me? What a stretch, only just. It's got to come in from this side. What do you reckon that torch is going to go arse up in a minute? Let's get rid of him. I don't know, we'll see. Feels alright. Yeah, I saw some bloke in America tightening this up and he broke the bowl. My goodness, I would have been ropeable if I did that. That'll do right there for now. We can tighten it once we turn the fuel tap on. If fuel leaks out, that's when we know how to tighten it. Alright, let's have a bit of a look. Yep, sorry if my head got in the way then. Still a bit loose, so I know I can tighten him a bit more. Righto, I'm going to go and turn the fuel tap on. Stay there, I'll edit the slow bits out. Fuel on. Hopefully you can see something trickling into the bowl. I'll be there to join you in a minute. Anything happening, folks? Yep, you can see that. Still going. Drip, drip, drip. We're near the end. So here we are. It's right towards the top. The fuel dripping in. I did see one drop of fuel off to the side. It came here, but that's it. Cross your fingers it's all right. Let's just watch and see if nothing's coming down the side. While you're watching, I'll go get a rag. Anyone spotted anything? Cross your fingers we've done alright, because I'm paranoid. I look at this tightening sort of bolt, head, nut, whatever you want to call it, and it looks crooked to me. Here we go. I can see a leak at the top. So something's amiss. Did you see the drop come down there? Yep, there we go. So, all I can do is tighten. So that was the leakage point there on the left. I've tightened that up. And see, I can see running here. Well, it's either not seated properly, or who knows, I don't want to tighten it too much. Bummer. Now, not everything's perfect. Well, how about it was just, I'm not tightening more in case I break it. So there we go, I've loosened it. I'm going by feel here. See, as you can see, it's a delicate matter. Maybe that seal's not sitting in there properly. There's an art to it. Actually, it's just called patience. So I'm looking for little droplets to come out. Yeah, there's another one there. I suppose it's all about the seal and this thing being dead centre at the bottom, so it applies the equal amount of force. I still don't know how that bloke in America busted the bowl can't remember the video, but it went everywhere. But his was a different setup. He was going with a spanner here. Yeah, I'm not happy it's still coming out the side here. Maybe I've done it too tight. Surely not. Now I can see running here. Here's the problem area. One more time, unloosen, or loosen, there's no such thing as the word unloosen, your zipper head on. If this keeps leaking, I'll just turn it off, the camera. I'm not going to waste your time, and I'll just muck around until I've got it, and then we'll click back on again. So I'm not there yet, I can see running. Alright folks, bear with me, we'll be back soon. Take many takes. Okay, I think I've cracked it, no pun intended. I did hear a crack before. I was going for one little extra tight here and I heard snap, but it's a built-in fail safe. You get to a particular tightening point and then it loosens on you, so it's I think it's made so you can't break it from over tightening. But I'm running my fingers around the back here, there's no fresh droplets, so touch wood that we're good, because it's no good if this is dripping and we've got the rest of the system to contend with. Anyway, I'll just keep an eye on it coming back and forth to see if there's any fresh droplets. How do we do that? We just get rid of the muck so we can see if anything's dropped down there. Alright, we're doing good. We'll go to the other side where, if you think this was complicated, well, maybe the other side's even more complicated. But it's got to be done. Let's go.